On August the 5th, the city of Wilmington, Delaware, took out a notice to auction off the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy campus for unpaid vacant property registration fees. I repeat, on August the 5th, the city of Wilmington, Delaware, took out a lien to auction off the campus we bought, the campus we've been working on for 6.5 years. I was not notified of this. We were not notified of this. This past weekend, without an email, this past weekend, without a letter in the mail, this past weekend, without a phone call, the city of Wilmington put a notice on the door handle of both of our schools, informing me that if we don't pay the past due vacant property registration fees and outstanding utilities by the 25th of Black August, they will sell our campus. Brothers and sisters, can I ask you a question? Why were we not notified that they were going to try to sell our campus? Brothers and sisters, why are they trying to sell our campus at the very moment that our accounts are frozen? Brothers and sisters, is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that the city of Wilmington is trying to sell properties that we own and have been working on continuously behind our backs? They were going to sell our schools behind our backs. They didn't even tell us that they were going to try to sell our schools. We received no notice in the mail. We received no notice by email. We received no phone calls at all that they were going to try to sell our schools. Instead, they put a notice on the door handle. Somebody stole one set of notifications and sent it to the YouTubian struggle streamers. Somebody stole the Frederick Douglass High School paperwork off the front door and sent it to the struggle streamers. But luckily for us, Sister Ra Ebony was able to get the paperwork off the Marcus Garvey School before the haters stole that paperwork. I believe, brothers and sisters, and please let me know your opinion. I believe, brothers and sisters, and please let me know your opinion. I believe, brothers and sisters, and please let me know your opinion. I believe that they were going to sell the school, and they wanted to sell the school before we found out. I believe that they wanted to sell the school before we found out. We were not supposed to know that they were going to sell our school. Why do I say that? We were given no notification. We received no letter in the mail. We received no email. We received no phone call that they were going to try to sell our schools. Instead, they put a notice on the door in a low-income neighborhood. They put a notice on the door with rubber band and masking tape. They put a notice on the school front door with a rubber band and masking tape.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Prince of Panhandling. Ladies and gentlemen, the Prince of Panhandling. Ladies and gentlemen, the Prince of Panhandling. Hey, welcome back to the Marc Perspective. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this channel. Let's try to get as many followers as possible. So please like, subscribe, and share this channel. It would be a big help for me and my mission, and I could really use your help. So please like, subscribe, and share this channel. So let's talk about the school, the one Umar Johnson promised, the one that was supposed to be a beacon for black boys, a fortress of Pan-Africanist education, the one that years later is still vacant, deteriorating, and now on the auction block in Wilmington, Delaware. This guy. So Umar Johnson raised hundreds of thousands of dollars from supporters who believed in his vision. Okay? They didn't just donate, they invested in a promise. Okay? And this promise was that he would build a school, not a podcast, not a YouTube channel, an actual school. I tell you, I really don't like talking about this guy because he's a huge disappointment and it just irks my nerves. But moving on, sorry about that. So now here we are years later. No student, no staff, no curriculum, just a building with unpaid taxes, and a man asking for another $40,000 to stop the city from selling it off. Okay? So let's be clear. This is not Wilmington's fault. This is not the system's fault, as he would say. This is Umar Johnson's fault, because if you listen to the video in April, he went to file, I can't remember what he said he was needed to file to get the, back taxes and so forth, removed. So that way he wouldn't have to owe anything. And, instead, he procrastinated. He didn't do anything. And so now he owes money. And mind you, you owed money before. He probably figured that he could fill this paperwork out and they would retroactively go back to when he got the building and didn't pay the taxes. And so now that's what he was expecting, but that didn't happen. Okay, he probably would have owed more, but it's only $40,000. And they're not just talking about the taxes, the utilities need to be paid, and this guy's not paying anything. He got this whole building and nothing. Nothing for students, nothing. So what were you doing with the money, man? This is ridiculous, okay? And I think black people need to be done with him. You know? See, Democrats prop up people like this to come into your community and make an absolute out of themselves and the community. And people really believed in him as he destroyed white people, snowflake, all this other stuff. And he probably slept with some white women and just want to, now he wants to be this, I don't know, this black authority or something. But, he now is being seen in the community as a lowlife, as a pathetic individual. And it's really sad. And it's really sad that I even have to talk like this about an individual, but this is it's bad. Okay. And he really needs to go get a job, man. That's what you need to do, because whatever it is you're doing is not working.
All right, check it out. Dr. Umar Johnson is going broke and he's losing the abandoned buildings that he's calling a school. There's a lot I want to say, but first let's hear from the man himself.
The city of Wilmington put a notice on the door handle of both of our schools, informing me that if we don't pay the past due vacant property registration fees and outstanding utilities by the 25th of Black August, they will sell our campus. Brothers and sisters, can I ask you a question? Why were we not notified that they were going to try to sell our campus? Brothers and sisters, why are they trying to sell our campus at the very moment that our accounts are frozen?
There's a lot there. First of all, don't act like you didn't see this coming, Umar. Didn't I see you a few days ago on the internet talking about please donate because they're going to shut this off and they're going to shut that off? Didn't I see you? So that lets me know that you knew at least back then that this is coming. Second of all, the only reason why you're doing this video right now is because you got exposed. What you say, that the YouTubians, you got exposed by them. If they didn't expose you, then you wouldn't be talking about losing the school. You were trying to keep that under wraps for as long as possible. You know what I think is happening right here? I think that he raised a bunch of money, allegedly 1.6 million. And over the years, people were saying, hey, where's the school? Where's the school? Where's the school? So he finally acquired some abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware, which is right where he lives. So you get the abandoned buildings for like 400,000, but you raise 1.6. So why do you owe $71,000? You owe 15,500 in the vacant property fee, which is $5,000 if you've had a property that's been 3 years vacant. This lets me know that you've never paid the bill and probably utilities and everything else. You're not paying any bills with these husks of buildings, but you keep the buildings because that keeps money rolling in. That's probably why your accounts are frozen, because if you raise money for one purpose, the school, but you spend it on women, on your personal expenses, on other things, that's called fraud and that's illegal. And you know what? I'm glad we're right here right now. I'm glad that Umar's reign of scamming has come to an end. And I hope that this does it because listen, we've been telling y'all for years and years and years, since 2010, this has been going on. 15 years. We've told y'all for years that this guy was a scammer, but hopefully this, losing the so-called schools, the abandoned buildings, will be enough for people to finally stop giving this man any money.
Now, ABL could be onto something, and it could go different ways. You know, I'm not a master at how this system works. However, Umar Johnson said that, or Dr. Fraud, Dr. Umar Johnson, he said that that his bank account, his personal and his business accounts have been frozen. He blames it on some lady probably trying to gain access to his accounts or something like that. But I never heard of account being frozen if somebody like gained access to the account. I mean, they will close it and you get a new account and, you know, they'll put the money back and so forth. And it usually happens pretty quick. This is going on 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month. I don't know. And it's still frozen. So it could be that when he opened up, he probably has in the same account. He probably had a personal and a business account. And I'm not sure, he probably took a lot of money from people, especially people that was expecting this let's say this school, and the people that was expecting it did not see anything happening. And so they went and probably got court orders to freeze the account so that they can retrieve back their money because nothing's going on, because Dr. Crook was spending the money on himself. So they probably saw some activity because it's him and, you know, he got this account. They have to freeze it because regardless of the fact, they're going to get that money from the personal, the business, they're going to get that money. Okay. Or he could have went to his bank, got some collateral to say, look, this is how much money I have to put into this business. And then got the bank to give him a loan, which was probably a lot. And then the bank expects an investment in their return. And they got nothing coming because there's nothing. And so the bank wants its money. And so the bank will freeze the account. Now, if that's the case, and you open this account under false pretense, and you got this money and you're spending it on yourself and your women and whatever it is you're doing out there, and you are not spending it on its main purpose, then that would be considered fraud. And you could get in some problems for that. Okay? Especially if you receive the money, especially like if it was from the government or something like that. But if you receive some money and you spent it on other things instead of its main purpose, then to me that is considered fraud. And now, not only will they freeze your account and you'll never be able to gain access to it, but now you have to answer to others on what happened. Why did that money not go to its intended purpose? So that's what I think. But, you know, it's up to you guys. I know a lot of you still going to support him because, you know, like I said, it is very easy to manipulate black people. We think, and once you tell a black person that, you know, the white man, and I'm going to fight him, and the snowflakes, and, you know, these black people really fall for it, and they will fall for, and that's why I said we fall for anything, and they'll fall for it, and they'll probably help him. I'm sure he's receiving some money, because if you notice, he didn't give you a new bank account. He gave you his Cash App or his other thing, his Apple, PayPal, whatever, to give him money so that he could take care of his woman and whatever else, and they need to pay their electricity bill and so forth. So the man's a crook. Please don't fall for it. And I hope you guys wake up and smell the bullshit. Okay? All right. Anyway, you guys have a great day, and I will be talking to y'all real soon.